And I now give the floor to the representative of India.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to thank USG Lapwa, EU Managing Director Retail Arangina, Mrs. Pocomo Soine for the briefing, and to the UK delegation for forwarding us the statement by AU Commissioner Chergi. Let me begin by strongly condemning the recent attacks on MINUSCA peacekeepers as we pay homage to the 7 peacekeepers from Morocco, Gabon, Burundi, and Rwanda who have sacrificed their lives for the UN flag. These attacks must be investigated by the CAR authorities, and those responsible must be held accountable. We pay tribute to MINUSCA and the outstanding work being done by the peacekeepers in the country. The recent attacks emphasize the urgent need for us to collectively do more to protect the protectors. Mr. President, the Central African Republic is passing through a critical phase. A significant milestone was achieved earlier this month with the 2nd anniversary of the signing of the peace agreement. In our view, the full implementation of the peace agreement is the only constructive way forward to achieve national reconciliation, end political tensions, and bring stability to the country. The onus of re-energizing the political agreement lies with the CAR leadership. The authorities should reach out to all the signatories of the peace agreement and engage in dialogue. We welcome the call made by President Todera on 6th of February for a national dialogue. We also call on all the opposition groups and armed group signatories to the peace agreement to shun violence and join the CAR authorities in finding a peaceful solution. We support the ongoing efforts of the guarantors of the peace agreement, the AU and the economic community for Central African states. Madam President, the continuing violence by armed groups, in particular the Coalition of Patriots for Change, in many parts of the country has forced the authorities to declare a state of emergency for 6 months. We condemn the violence and attacks perpetrated by the armed groups, especially against civilians, including women and children. The precarious security situation highlights the importance of security sector reforms and disarmament, demobilization, reintegration, and repatriation process, both of which are key elements of the peace agreement. The holding of democratic elections in the country last December, despite prevailing tensions and violence, was an important milestone. We commend the CAR authorities for conducting the elections and all partners who supported this process. The Constitutional Court endorsed the outcome of the elections, and the electoral phase is now set to progress to the next stage. These decisions must be respected. As CAR authorities prepare for the next round of legislative elections on the 14th of March, it is important that all stakeholders continue to support the election process. We've taken note of the meeting of the National Level Implementation Mechanism held on the 5th of February in Bangui. This was one of the essential elements of the 2019 peace agreement. It is encouraging that these local level mechanisms have met in some areas with the active engagement of women leaders, promoting inclusive dialogue. These are positive steps that must be encouraged. Winning the trust of the rural population is important, and the CAR administration needs to take necessary steps in this regard. Madam President, we remain concerned about the humanitarian situation in the country. Over 100,000 people have fled, compounding an already dire refugee crisis, with many more IDPs. The COVID-19 pandemic and the threat of food security have only compounded these concerns. It is critical that there is no blockade on towns and important transport routes, and movement of essential supplies is maintained. Madam President, we support the Secretary General's call for an incremental increase in the MINUSCA troop ceiling. While these reinforcements are important, we should also focus on capacity building of CAR security forces. At the same time, progress in the political process is important for the long-term stability of the country. We hope the CAR authorities will continue to take steps in the right direction. Madam President, India has been providing assistance to CAR through various mechanisms. We have extended lines of credit worth $85 million for various projects, including the construction of a cement plant, supply of 100 buses, as well as 2 hydroelectric power projects. We have also set up 2 learning stations to boost computer education among the youth and children. Tele-education and telemedicine connectivity has been made available in Bangui under India's Pan-African e-network project. India is also offering scholarships to build capacity of CAR authorities. We remain committed to continuing our support to CAR and its people. I thank you, Madam President.